Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So XRP does not cease to impress. XRP right now trading at about $1.28.5. Last night we saw it go up as high as $1.35. So, this bull run for XRP continuing despite the fact that other cryptocurrencies are not faring so well. I mean, Bitcoin pretty flat, Ethereum down a little bit, almost 2% within the last 24 hours. We've seen other coins like Cardano and Binance Coin up by a little bit, but XRP, guys, you can see over here, up 13%, over 13% just in the last 24 hours. And we have seen that trend continue without losing steam throughout the last week. Now, you guys can see a lot of these other cryptocurrencies are fairly flat. I mean, there are some that are up a little bit. Ethereum Classic is actually up 13%, but mostly they're either in the red by a little bit or in the green by a little bit. So we aren't seeing too much movement in the cryptocurrency space as a whole, but XRP really kind of chugging up. And, I've had friends in my real life text me and they're like, what's going on with XRP? Why is that particular coin going up and the rest of my crypto not going up? And I just have to say, look, XRP price has been suppressed. There has been, the SEC lawsuit, and it hasn't reached its all-time high yet. I can't tell you exactly why it is pumping right now the way it is. There are likely multiple factors involved in this. The good news, though, it is pumping, and this is what we should be happy about. Now, if I bring XRP here, let me throw it on I'm going to throw it on the daily for a second. So that was XRP on the hourly. Throw it on the daily, put it on a log scale, bring this back here to take a look at this recent trend. Throw a Fibonacci down here. You guys can see, so we broke past the 0.236, the 0.382, and even the 0.5. Now we're trying to get past the 0.618, and it just seems like it blasted through those barriers, no problem. When we get up to the 0.702 and the 0.786, this is when I think we will see significant resistance, if not sooner, perhaps. So that is kind of the micro time frame. When I zoom the trend out and I look at the macro time frame here for XRP, going to throw a Fibonacci from the top of the last bull market to the trough of the bear market, you guys can see, bringing it over here, we are finding a little bit of resistance here. You guys can see XRP kind of peaked, and now we're coming right back down to $1.28, give or take. So there's still a ways to go. The 0.382, at least on the macro time frame, has been that barrier for XRP to get past at this moment in time, but we are doing well. We were below the 0.236 for a while, blasted through that, trying to get through the 0.382, but this bullish momentum is looking very promising. One other thing I just wanted to show you guys here back on the hourly, I'm going to throw up the Bitcoin chart here in comparison, and just the other day I talked about this possible idea that XRP could be decoupling from Bitcoin. I'll link that video up here if you guys didn't catch it. And as I mentioned earlier, Bitcoin not faring as well as XRP. You guys can see the trend was very similar all throughout here. You can see the orange is Bitcoin and the bar graph is XRP. And then right in and around here, we saw XRP really just kind of shoot up, just kind of take off, and Bitcoin just kind of meandering, trading sideways, not too much upward momentum for Bitcoin. So XRP playing catch up, perhaps. It is one of the best performers, at least in the last 24 hours. As we're seeing here, the only other one here is Thorchain doing better, 18.62% in the last 24 hours. So positive news there. And I can see the FUD is beginning because the Bitcoin proponents, those maximalists, scratching their head, wondering what the heck is going on. And Andrew Zell just pointing this out here. So the writers at Cointelegraph just put out an article. So I'll read the title here. XRP chart triggers sell-off, warning after price explodes by 54%. And Andrew Zell saying, the writers at Cointelegraph are getting worried as they say success is the best revenge. Worried about what, says Agent Smith V3? If they believe that BTC equals world peace and all that jazz, then there is plenty of space for BTC and the small boys like XRP, of course. But a lot of these guys are funded by Bitcoin maximalists or have deep connections to Bitcoin, considering Bitcoin was that first cryptocurrency. And, a lot of these news outlets, a lot of the media that we consume that is cryptocurrency centric, a lot of it started out of Bitcoin. So there is a very, very biased slant on Bitcoin and anything that is not Bitcoin, especially XRP, because it is, quote unquote, the banker's coin, is going to get a lot of flack. We also have Dictator Know-It-All saying, if you are in crypto and have not done this, it's your biggest mistake. He has actually blocked Cointelegraph here. I'm going to read this because I think it is important to hear and analyze what outlets like Cointelegraph are saying about XRP. It is always important to know where you are consuming your news from, and don't get me wrong, I don't dislike Cointelegraph. I think they do a good job at reporting stories about cryptocurrency adoption and advancements and, to keep us up to date. But when it comes to XRP, you got to be careful for a lot of these news outlets if they are Bitcoin proponents. So here's the article. XRP price almost surged to its 3-month high following a strong uptrend continuation on August 14th. Nevertheless, its wild week run-up triggered overvaluation risks, thus raising possibilities of an imminent price pullback. Now, you will never hear these guys talk about overvaluation risks when they discuss Bitcoin. In detail, XRP USD exchange popped 11.78%. Okay, so here's just the detail of the price evaluation. And then they go down here saying XRP is overbought. The latest bullish moves in the XRP market prompted 2 classic indicators to forecast imminent price corrections. The first indicator is the relative strength index. So they're using the technical analysis to suggest that this is very overbought. Again, I'll leave this in the description if you guys want to read the whole thing. So here's where they go into their TA. Additional gains anticipated despite overvaluation risks. Other traders believe XRP is poised to continue its bull run. For instance, independent market analyst Don Alt thinks XRP could sprint towards its all-time high merely because it has broken above a so-called resistance area as shown in the chart below. So kind of almost discrediting Don Alt, even though they are presenting another positive side to this XRP price appreciation. Close above red $1 this week, and I don't see a reason for XRP to not make new all-time highs, the analyst said. But at the same time, if it all-time highs, the end of the run is near. So again, of course, they've got to put that quote in there to put the doubt in your head. Kevin Cage, another popular chart analyst, added a dose of fundamentals to the bullish outlook, noting that XRP at its all-time high would mean that Ripple has reached a settlement with the SEC. So there's that as well. And, when I've had my friends text me, they know about the SEC lawsuit, obviously. And, they're saying, is the SEC, is there a settlement coming soon? Do we have any more news from this? Is this why we're seeing XRP rally so hard? And, I was saying, look, a settlement is imminent. We have a feeling, because we've all been following this so closely, a lot of us have a feeling that this is going to settle in favor of Ripple, that they will see a favorable settlement. This will positively impact the price of XRP. And so one theory, and what I'm thinking, is this could possibly be a bit of a front run to that. Because once we get the news, it's going to be too late. And that FOMO, I guess, depending on when we see that announcement come out, that will definitely push price beyond all-time highs. So, this article has some negative slants to it. Of course, there is a negative taint to it. You would never see Cointelegraph talking about Bitcoin this way. Nevertheless, this is what we have. But, to Andrew Zell's point here, and I don't know if I agree with the fact that they're getting worried necessarily, but they certainly are putting a negative slant on XRP. So that definitely goes without saying. Anyway, guys, I'll link this in the description for you if you're interested. I also saw this from XRP Crypto Wolf. XRP development activity skyrocketed. Michael at Val5 Links also brought this to my attention. Before it coupled from the crypto pack, we saw hints of development activity skyrocketing on GitHub. So XRP's team is now submitting the highest GitHub activity rate in the asset's history. The overall crypto market enters a minor consolidation post the solid rally. Ripple XRP continues to inch northward. At press time, XRP is trading about 22% up at a price of $1.33. So that was the time they published this article. Over the last week, XRP has gained more than 60%. So of course, just talking again about the price movement. But here's the chart from Sentiment, guys, and you can see the development is up significantly for XRP. Right in around here, we're seeing that in purple. As on-chain data provider Sentiment writes, the price action follows the high development activity on the Ripple blockchain. Before it decoupled from the crypto pack, we saw hints of development activity skyrocketing. XRP's team is now submitting the highest GitHub activity rate in the asset's history. So that is also something we should be paying attention to. XRP Ledger supporting NFTs, as we know. David Schwartz also noting the XRP Ledger delivers a unique combination of low cost, high speed, and good payment features needed to streamline NFT creation at scale. So they're also working on that. Also possibly the reason why we're seeing this activity. In particular, the Ledger's ability to maintain consistent transaction fees, something which is impossible on most other platforms today. as a key benefit for both buyers and sellers. So GitHub activity also going through the roof. I got to thank Michael at Val5 Links and XRP Crypto Wolf for bringing that to my attention. We also have this guy's from Craig DeWitt. He is product director at Ripple. Wait until the folks figure out XRP utility is much bigger than only payments. XRPL does way more. And he tweeted this image out just 10 hours ago, just, reminding us that the XRPL is so much more than payments. A lot of development going on. This is, again, why, just to tie this back to this is, again, why we are seeing GitHub activity really go through the roof. And I believe that, who was it? Was it XRP Crypto Wolf? I read somewhere that this is the first time that it has actually gone above Bitcoin's GitHub activity, but I didn't see those numbers. Maybe I heard it from, I think I heard it from BitBoy Crypto. Nevertheless, I don't have confirmation of that, but Craig DeWitt just also pointing to this, saying, you know what? This is going to be even bigger than what we are seeing here. And Real XRP Boy bringing this to our attention, kind of questioning this from the IMF.org. This is from their official website, wondering why this is all competition. It's all competition. This is what he's asking here. I want to read you guys this. So this is an official document from the International Monetary Fund questioning Ripple's position in this new financial system. So, as in other countries, new non-bank players are entering the payment space, offering innovative services to regulate financial institutions and to customers and merchants. Some of the new fintech and big tech entrants aim to compete with the existing money transfer providers, Ripple and Calibra, while others aim to provide services complementing rather than competing with existing money transfer agents or card schemes by offering mobile or digital wallets or by acting as payment gateways / user interfaces or aggregators. So in this first sentence, just aiming to compete with these existing money payment providers, namely Ripple and Calibra, but then they're saying, others like Stripe, Square, Amazon Pay, Apple Pay, Google Pay, Facebook Pay, Visa Checkout, and PayPal, they are looking to just kind of enhance or build upon where the current system already is. They try to establish themselves as additional layers such as user interfaces, payment aggregators, or IT service providers, interposing themselves between banks or money transmitters and customers or merchants, or providing services to existing payment service providers. In some instances, new user interfaces or aggregation services even add extra tiers on top of existing service providers to banks such as credit card companies, leading to an even higher number of service layers in payments. So it's interesting because Ripple is already kind of that new competition, I suppose, against SWIFT, or at least one of those payment systems that has emerged over the last few years to compete against SWIFT. But now the IMF is saying there is even more competition with even these payment providers, Ripple and Calibra, as examples. Number 96, I'm just going to read this. Only very few new players aim to challenge established payment infrastructures. Some new platforms aim to compete with payment systems such as TCH ACH and TCH RTP and the FedWire Fund Service, which are only accessible by banks. For example, RippleNet provides the software and the rulebook for a transfer mechanism, whereas financial intermediaries function as nodes and may partake in the consensus mechanism. These players offer a payment infrastructure outside the traditional U.S. payment system, both for U.S. dollars and other virtual currencies, and may be using DLT as a platform. So, just another line here describing RippleNet and how their software and their rulebook, which is interesting to note that RippleNet, almost like a new language for this, a new technological language, providing the new rulebook for transfer mechanisms, and then comparing them to the financial intermediaries, which are just, again, as I mentioned, that layer on top. But T-Hole Bedict chiming in here, retweeting this out. It's not about the competition. They are talking about the real fight for the U.S. to maintain USD hegemony, allowing it to be weaponized via sanctions and providing the U.S. with immense buying power. We all know that's not gonna hold up. So the real fight here, and the bigger fight that I think we should be paying attention to, is that idea of the US dollar could lose its power on the world stage. And, I've talked about that in several videos. Considering how far Ripple has advanced within the financial system, even just within the last 5 years, I see it as having that strong foothold. We also have XRPL developers coming out with, new purposes for the XRPL. So utility for XRP, I don't think is going to go down anytime soon. I think if anything, we are going to see it rise. So I'll leave these two tweets, guys, in the description of the video if you're interested. I wanted to keep moving though, because with regards to the IMF, I also saw this from Genie at Reborn13 here on Twitter, and he's eyeing the end of August, and I'll tell you why. Now, if you guys haven't been in the space for a while, there was a character on Twitter named Ross Vandermeer, aka Marvin Gaye, and he had posted predictions. Some may say an insider, some may say he just got lucky. Well, here's what he posted back in 2019. All G7 agreed and signed. The gold standard is back. The IMF looking for suitable timing for the announcement. Gold will kill the Fed. XRP will trigger the new paradigm. And he posted this at the end of August 2019. Now, again, this cannot be confirmed like many other anonymous Twitter accounts that drop breadcrumbs for us. But for those of you guys following these kinds of cryptic messages, it is interesting to note because I'm going to get to this article in a second, and this is just from this year here. IMF expected to complete new SDR allocations by the end of August. Now, Garfield Parker down here saying, I couldn't find anything on the G7 agreeing to a new gold standard. I believe this is what's happening, but if someone can share clues or resources, I'd be grateful. Thanks. Now, back to Ross Vandermeer. I don't know if you guys catch Kevin Cage on YouTube. This is what he posted last year on August 7th, 2020. Remember when the original Ross Vandermeer said banks would be able to custody crypto? So Kevin Cage is mentioning this back in 2020. Ross Vandermeer left his Twitter account, left this particular Twitter account in February 2020, if I'm not mistaken. So this prediction would have been back in 2019 or maybe even before that. He said banks would be able to custody crypto, and I don't know, Kevin Cage does not have a tweet or a screen grab to that effect, but I do trust Kevin. He is a trusted member of the XRP community. It's fun to imagine he will be correct about more. So just to Kevin's point here, Ross Vandermeer was correct on that crypto custody prediction. Banks have indeed now started to custody crypto for their institutional clients. And we started with one bank, and then the domino effect occurred. Many other banks followed suit. I mean, he did call oil, USD, gold, equities, etc. What's left? I think he made some bold calls for Bitcoin and real estate as well. So just adding a little bit more credibility to this Twitter account. Again, we do not know who this is. It cannot be verified, but I'm glad I found this tweet from Kevin Cage, reminding us that Ross Vandermeer here on Twitter did indeed call these back before they were actually announced. Now, with regards to the IMF expected to complete new SDR allocation by the end of August 2021, that is this year. Let me give you guys some background. So with regards to the gold standard, we know there was a gold standard that the IMF utilized between 1947 and 1971. That provided monetary stability based on the agreement of each nation to abide by its principles. Any country that uses a gold standard will have to keep a large quantity of gold on hand in order to keep a reserve for their currency. Now, we went off the gold standard after 1971, and there were a lot of reasons for that. Fast forward through the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and this current monetary system that we're now working on has fallen into disrepair. So the IMF is now talking about a reallocation of the SDR, or the special drawing rights. The SDR is an international reserve asset created by the IMF in 1969. Just to give you guys some background in case you don't know about this, SDRs are allocated to member countries in proportion to their IMF quotas. Also called paper gold, as it is not backed by any currency or precious metal, used only among governments of member countries and IMF for balance of payment settlements. So again, just giving you guys a little bit of background on this, not backed by any currency or precious metal. However, by the end of August, the IMF is expected to complete new SDR allocations. So the IMF said that the new allocation is the largest issuance in the fund's history, aimed at helping its membership, especially the most vulnerable, to overcome the pandemic crisis. The IMF is expected to complete the process of a new allocation of special drawing rights by the end of August. The IMF Executive Board on Friday, so this was published back in June, but they said that Friday they discussed a proposal for a new SDR allocation of $650 billion, the largest issuance in the IMF's history, aimed at helping its membership, especially the most vulnerable, outcome the beer flu crisis, Rice said in a statement at the end of the meeting. The board discussion is another step in the process towards a new SDR allocation, which we expect to be completed by the end of August. During its spring meetings held in cooperation with the World Bank in April, the International Monetary and Financial Committees called for the IMF to make a comprehensive proposal on a new SDR general allocation of $650 billion to help meet the long-term global need to supplement reserves while enhancing transparency and accountability in the reporting and the use of SDRs. The IMFC also called on the IMF to work with its members to continue exploring ways for voluntary post-allocation channeling of SDRs to support members' recovery efforts. Since the onset of the pandemic, the IMF has extended over $110 billion to 86 countries worldwide. They talk about Egypt's 12-month standby agreement down here. But the takeaway I really wanted to mention was that they are reallocating new SDR allocations by the end of August. So to Jeannie's point here, we're eyeing the end of August. Ross Vandermeer here on Twitter, who closed his account back in February of 2020, posted this back in 2019. Could a gold standard be back? Is the IMF looking for suitable timing for this announcement? We definitely know XRP is going to be part of this new paradigm, this new financial structure. I don't doubt that. And could this partially be the reason why, seemingly out of nowhere, XRP is taking flight? I mean, I don't think it's one particular reason, but it could be part of a larger set of circumstances that is going to give XRP exceptional utility. That is just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.